Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Everyone's looking forward to that, right? All week long. You went through a long toiling of your job, and now we're here on this Friday. You have one more day. This is the day. And once it's all over, it's on the weekend circuit. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again. It's another full packed hour of the Coffee Hour. And this is where we meet every Friday. And we get together and we have a lot of fun. And we talk to each other. We have a little coffee, little donuts, the whole 9 yards, whatever you want to share it with us right here on the Coffee Hour. And we're going to be here for a whole hour. And in this hour, we got so many things to talk about with you involved, of course. And of course, we'd like to get everybody into the mix of the show. We'll tell you how you can do that. But first off, I'd like to thank everyone who's been with us for such a long time, for bearing with us all of these years, being on the Coffee Hour. And for the people who are brand new, maybe very brand new to the program, like maybe the first time today, I want to explain to you how this goes on. As the host of the show, I'm going to get things rolling. I set things up, as they call setting the tone, and that's what I'm going to do. And while I'm doing that, at any time you want, you can use your keyboard on your computer, on your phone, and on your tablet. Just type in whatever you want to say. I'm going to see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I'm going to acknowledge each and every one of you, your thoughts and ideas. That's what the show is all about. All free form. Great ideas and opinions. And I'm pretty sure you have a lot of those. And we want to share them with each other. And when you come in, not only will you be able to talk to me, but you can talk to others who are out here as well. You can give them the benefit of having your friendship and gracing us with your presence. We always like that when you do that. So we've got that going on. And remember that we're on 3 different places now, okay? Have been for a long time, 3 different platforms. And this is for the people who are new that don't know that. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, we're live there, and of course, Instagram as well. And so any 3 of those platforms will get you there. You can mingle with us, you could talk to us. As I said, it all takes a twinkling of like playing a piano or something. I don't know if you play the piano. Piano has the keyboards, right? Just like a computer, they have the keyboards. You just let your fingers play the music and talk to us, all right? Okay, now, those of you who are here for the first time and watching us on Facebook, take the time, just like the people who have been with us for a long time, they already know about this. Take the time and you can tag this show to your friends. You can do that right now. We really appreciate if you do that. Tag them because the more the merrier. If they like what they see and they like what they hear, of course, they'll come back again and again, just like you. So we want you to do that right now. And when they see that tag, they'll know it's coming from you and they'll click onto it and it brings them directly to us right here. If you're watching us on Facebook, okay? And that's all it takes. And so please do that right now. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It's just that simple. And by the way, you can tag as many of your friends if you want. Now, if you have so many friends on your account on Facebook, of course, I don't expect you to like tag them all, you know, because you may have a couple of thousands. I don't know. I don't know what's the limit of friends that you could have on Facebook. I know there may be a limit. When you reach somewhere, I don't think you can go higher than maybe a couple of, you know, half a 1,500 or something like that. Whatever it is, if you have that many friends, you can tag them, tag a little today, tag a little next week, the week after, and so forth and so on. But just tag them and let them know that we're out here and have their friends and families and relatives come out and do the same thing. Now, for you guys who are watching us on YouTube, what I want you to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done it thus far, especially if you're new. You can do that right now. You're brand new, and so all you have to do is click on where it says subscribe. You can see it right there if you're on YouTube. It says subscribe. Click onto it, And that's all it takes. Now, you may be asking, well, wait a minute, I don't have the money. I don't have credit cards. Forget about it. Forget about the credit cards. Forget about the money. I'm not asking you for that. It's not involved. It's free. Just click on it. It's just all I'm asking you is just for an effort of your time. Just click it. And that's it. Now, the reason why we want you to do that is because we want to see how many people can follow us on the show, people who take time to follow us and get involved in the show. We like that. And that's basically the purpose. And the other reason is that now that you have clicked on to subscribe to us, from here on in, you're going to know that every time we come on live, you get an instant notification letting you know that we're on live. Now, even if we're not on the air and you happen to be online somewhere and you see that pop up, something's going on. That means maybe we're posting video or another still picture or something. But for the main reason is that when it pops up on a Friday morning, all right, and you'll see right away, hey, you know, the show is on. I forgot all about it, but I just got a reminder. Click onto the reminder, and it brings you right to the platform. Just as simple as that. And for you guys who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do much. All you have to do is just tell your friends. Keep the word going right throughout your community. Because don't forget, we're global. We're all around the world. There's not a place on God's green earth that you can go where you won't find us. Unless, of course, you're in the middle of a desert where there's no Wi-Fi or hotspots or anything. And then you're kind of in a loss, you know. Other than that, we're all around the world. You can pick us up anywhere. And so, you know, when you do that, you can tell your friends about it. Let them know they can be anywhere. They can be in Africa, Asia. I don't know. You can pick us up. So continue to do that. Continue to tell your friends about us and let them know what the deal is. Now, we know that while we interact with you, we also know that we have to tell you, too, that we have our little thing that we do as well. All right. For instance, in this particular half hour, in this hour, the first part of this hour, this particular half hour, I'm going to call on Brian Camp. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're going to get the link up with him, and you'll get a chance to see him as well. He's our sports guy, and his show is called Sports Update. He brings you the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's coming up pretty soon. And if you have any questions, sports related, you can ask Brian when he comes in. You can ask him live while he's on the air. Doesn't matter. You could ask him. Just get your questions together as soon as possible, so we can go right through it if you have any questions at all. And if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him right there. You'll see him as well as hear him. But that's not the case for people who are watching us on Instagram, because we're not set up that way. Unfortunately, we don't do it that way. I'm sorry. Who knows? Maybe in the future, you know, technology gets better and better as it goes along. So we'll see. You know, write into them and let them know that, hey, you know something, we like to see the guest that comes on as well as hear him. And I did say that you could hear him. You won't be able to see him. You could hear him. And that's the only difference. Other than that, you could still ask the questions and we'll see it. And if he doesn't see it, I see it. And then I relay the question to him, you know, but he'll monitor Facebook. I know that for sure. But I monitor everything else here. So I can see you on Instagram, you on YouTube, and you on Facebook. There you go. Okay, we're so glad to have you along with us. And also, later on in the program, before the show is over, I have those movies. Yes, indeed. Now, the weekend is coming up, right? You guys who work 8 to 4, 9 to 5, you won't know that until that time comes along. And you get up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and the weekend starts. And who knows, maybe you started at some saloon doing what they call happy hour. I don't know if they still do that as often as we did it back in the old days. We used to get off work and the coffee hour. I would assume, you know, people still do that after a hard day's work. They want to unwind and, you know, they don't have to worry about going back to work the next day. So they kick back a few, right? They call elbow bending. However, folks, the weekend is coming up. And as far as those movies I was telling you about, well, those movies I was telling you about, I have them. And they're my picks of the week. And what I do is I go on Turner Classic Movies, go through the line and find out what's happening. And I pick out the ones that I think they're worth watching. And I add them to my list. And what I want to do is later on, when that time comes, when it's time for me to give out those movies, I want to add them to your list because you may be one of the people who may want to sit back all weekend long, throw back a few and watch some movies, pop some popcorn, or do whatever you do, right? And watch some old movies. So I want to add some of the movies that I have to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. So that's all coming up. And that's later on in the program. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So that being said, let's do what we normally do. Let's raise our cups because, folks, what would the Coffee Hour be without a little coffee? So, excuse me while I shoot up. That's great. That's tremendous. That's really great. Nothing like the first jolt of the day. I want to say good morning to all of you who have popped in. Mary out of Brooklyn, New York, Mary Reed. Good morning to you. She's here watching us on Facebook. And as I said, we have other platforms. We have YouTube and Instagram too. So wherever you're watching, we want to say howdy to you. And the only time we're going to say anything to you is if you say something to us first, because sometimes people like to pop in and just watch the show. They don't want to be acknowledged. And so we respect that. I see you there, but I won't say anything unless, of course, you say something first, and then we'll rope you into the conversation as well. But as I said, while we're doing all of that, you can come in and you can say whatever you want. Just use your keyboard, type it in. And I'll see you and we'll acknowledge all of that. So enjoy your coffee, your tea, your orange juice, your milk, or whatever beverage you have, because everyone doesn't take coffee. Some people don't, and we don't hold it against you just because you don't like coffee. You don't even have to have anything. The most important thing is that you're here with us, and we really appreciate that. So here we are. It's Friday, and it's the 28th of February, the very, very last day of the month. This is it. We're not going to see another February until 2026. This is it. And the reason why you wonder, you say, what? February? We just started February. It went so fast. Don't forget, folks, February is the only month to have the shortest days. And the highest that you can go is the 29th, but there's no 29th day in February this year. 28, that's all we get. That's why the month went by so quick. And so if you're still, in the February mode and you're still feeling it, savor it, because after midnight it's all over. After midnight it's all over. Anyway, Mary says today is a blowout day. That's what we did, blowout day. That's the 28th. It's a blowout day. So being that it is February and it's the last day of everything that we celebrate here, particularly I like to acknowledge is Black History Month. This is it. This is the last day. Although it's the last day of Black History Month, Black history is, of course, American history, and it goes on and on and on. So you don't have to, just wait every year for February to celebrate Black History Month. There's always something to talk about. There's always something new, and there's always something to celebrate. This is the last day of the month of Black History Month. And so Black History Month, for the whole, if you've been watching the show for the whole entire month, you know that we have been, shining a light on achievers who made a big difference in Black history. And the first 2 weeks of the month, we celebrated and acknowledged two African American males, what they achieved. And on the third week, a woman. And this is the last week, so we do another woman. Okay? So everyone gets their due, you know, because women have made great contributions. Although we can't say, I mean, I can give you a whole laundry list of a lot of African American achievers, but we only had 4 weeks to do this. All right. And there'll be more on the way we can talk about, you know, and it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to take February to do it. We can do it, you know, like through passing of the whole year. Someone comes up, hey, you know, something this year. I want to talk about so-and-so, being that it's not Black History Month, but I want to talk about so-and-so. And we talk about it, we acknowledge it. But this week, we're going to shine a light on someone that may not be a household name to you, but and that's why I'm going to bring it out here, because we want you to know about this person. I mean, you already know legendary people, legendary women, but here's someone that you may not have recognized or have known, and she goes by the name of Sadie Alexander. Sadie Alexander was the first Black woman economist. Take that back. I didn't say that. She was the first Black woman economist in the United States, and this trailblazing math whiz devoted her career to challenging segregations and taking on institutions that kept Black people from advancing financially. Now, that work included serving as the first Black woman secretary of the National Bar Association, fighting to desegregate the military, and serve on President Harry Truman's Special Committee on Civil Rights. That's what she did. That is the person that did that. Sadie Alexander. Now, I just gave you a taste of what she's about. And if you want to know more about her, of course, you have the public libraries. And if you don't feel like taking that route, you could always go on the computer and research it. All right. And that's what I do. When I do these, I don't have I only have an hour, so I can't spend the whole time of giving you the whole history of them, but I give you a taste of what she's all about. I just introduced to you someone you may or may not even heard of. And I chose her because, you know, that's someone that you should know. Sadie Alexander. And that's our way of celebrating Black History Month for this year. And so we salute her. And we salute the rest of you as well. Well, here we are too. It's National Cancer Prevention Month as well. And this month, right, it's the end. So after today, we're finished with it, but we want to let you know more about it. We want you to recognize it. Now, a lot of people were diagnosed with all kinds of cancers. There's all kinds of cancers out there. I don't have to name them. You know all about them. And some of you who have never, ever been exposed to any kind of cancer, well, this is what National Cancer Prevention Month is all about. To get you to know about it, to get you to do something to prevent. You know, now they say if you live long enough, you'll have issues. All of us are going to have issues. Doesn't necessarily have to be cancer, but if you live long enough, you're going to have health issues, you know, and that's just the way of life. That's part of living, you know, but there's ways that you can do something about it, particularly cancer. Now, we know that one time that cancer was a death sentence, right? It never, it killed people left and right. Today, even though it's not a cure, there's a way to deal with it. People are dealing with it now. And me as a prostate cancer survivor, I can tell you, I lived long enough to tell the story. I'm a 23-year survivor. And coming up 24 years, as a matter of fact, survivor. And I'm just happy to say that even though I went through my issues and my trauma with that, I could tell you the story. So if you have any questions about that, ask me. I can tell you. Or you could get together with people and your friends. And you know something too, having cancer too, it'd be helpful if you talk about it with other people. They have programs that you can go to. Hopefully, these important programs are not going to be snipped and tucked away. All right, you know what I'm talking about, right? And you can see people. They have these programs where you can talk to people. They group sessions, and they're very helpful. They were very helpful to me. So that's what we're celebrating, and that's what we're acknowledging. National Cancer Prevention Month, and this is the last thing that we're going to talk about. Anyway, thank you so much for being along with us for this Friday. Those of you who are with us, we want you to give us your weather forecast. If you want to get involved in conversation, we'd like you to do that. We always ask you to do that. For you guys who are New York people, don't worry about it because I'm going to take care of that. But I'm going to skip it for now because I'm going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. Take a trip with me. Come, let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina, because Brian is right there right now. And see, he doesn't come to us. We come to him. We take the trip to him. He has the latest developments in today's world of sports, and it's all about sports update. So here we are, right here on a Friday.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around the world, around the globe. I greet you all with a hearty, hearty hello. Hope everybody is doing well. Whoever is listening out there on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm coming from the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it is presently 55 degrees, lots of sun. The high is going up to 65 today. Blowout day. Say to Mary, good morning, Mary. I believe that's where we don't buy nothing. We don't buy anything from these stores. Okay, we know what, without getting too deep into the political thing that's what's going on, we're just going to just say, stay home, don't buy anything, don't buy nothing online. As you know, the federal government is trying to lay off a lot of employees. Does it hit home for me? Absolutely. I have members in my family who works for the government. I have members in my family that's are on the edge of their seats, don't know what's going to happen. There are people that I know who voted for this current president are now having resorting to I guess you could say regrets of doing so. But you know what I say to that? I can't say anything. We warned you. We warned you. We warned you. But now I know that you're feeling it. But I'm not gonna rub it in. I'm not gonna stick the needle into you. But this is what we saw this coming a long time ago.
Well,
Me, hmm?
I mentioned that last night too. I mean, the Republicans are starting to feel the pinch now because they were thinking that because they voted for their boy, that everything was going to be hunky dory and that they didn't have to worry about anything. And now they realize they were duped because the food prices didn't go down like he said it would go down, and he's totally turning his back because everything is geared to the rich and famous people, particularly the billionaires.
Exactly. And I saw this on the day of the election, maybe a day or two before the election. I saw this happening. See, every day I keep a close eye on the Dow Jones because I have money invested in the Dow Jones. My 401, my 457K is taking a nosedive. I could tell you since that day to this present day, we have more red than green.
Mm.
So I've seen, yeah, money's being lost, but you know what? We are resilient people. I'm not saying just for Black people, but people of all races. We've been through a lot in this country. In this case, more with people of color. But we'll be fine. We'll be, we're fighters. We'll be fine. But this is what happens. When you deal with something like this. Now, me personally, the way I was brought up and raised, we got to pray for our leaders. Even so, yes, even he needs prayer. My prayer is to soften his heart. but he's on this campaign of revenge. He's paying everybody back. He said he was going to do this. So let's not act like that we're surprised. He said he was
Mhm.
going to do payback.
Mhm.
He said it in his own words, of course, and he's living up to it, you
Well,
know?
the only people are not surprised are the people who voted for him uh, up until now. As I said, because their thing, and it's not that they care about the cuts that are affecting them; it's affecting them. Their attitude is, "Hey, why us? Maybe the other people. Do it to the other people, not us. We voted for
Yeah. And this is a sad thing right now. So we don't know for the next 3.5 years how much he's going to put this country in danger. I don't understand. I was watching. I don't watch Morning Joe anymore. I could
you."
tell you
No,
that, but
neither
I
do
do
I.
watch. I still watch the other anchors
Yeah,
and the other people because
yeah.
Morning Joe sold his soul to the devil. I'll keep it just like I'll say it just like that. But um, it was I saw one of the guys who's on late night. Um, he said this. He said, "How is it that a dictator protects another dictator?"
Mm, yeah. Well, that's not a surprise either.
Not a
I mean, that's
surprise.
that. I mean, that was done in his last administration.
Yeah, yeah.
It's come out with something new that I can say, oh my God. There's nothing you can't even say, oh my God, anymore because it's been done before. We've heard it before. This is like a movie you've seen like 1,000 times already.
The United
It's,
States is being so disrespected by other countries now. Here it is. When do you ever see a country hosting a hockey game, booing the other country's national anthem?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, shouldn't that? I mean, that is so sad. There was always respect when we stand for two national anthems and everything,
Mm,
and out of respect. And
yeah.
and if you truth be told, if the truth be told now,
Mm,
if you look at that third stanza of the American national anthem, made I think Scott Key is I forget his full name, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. That third stanza talks about slavery. It talks
mm,
about keeping slavery, but we don't sing that third stanza. Look it
mm,
up. But they
mm,
get mad when the national anthem of African Americans, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is a hymn from the church by Kenneth Johnson. Just do the research, because I did this research years ago. It's a hymn. It calls for unity. So some of you out there listening, take a look and compare the two anthems. Why and see why some Americans, mainly minorities and African Americans, will why did they turn their backs or just not salute? Now, by me saying that, I'm not going to disrespect the country that I was born and raised, but I understand why we do these here things when it comes to the American flag. America has not always been on the right side of everything. They have
well,
not been on the right side of everything. I'll leave it just like that. So my
by the
job
way,
is
by the way, just before you start, you said earlier about blowout day, and I understand that. But if you have to buy, which you didn't mention, which I'm going to mention, if you have to buy, support your local mom and pop stores. Those are if you want to buy your food, support your local mom and pop stores, or anything that you have to buy. Support the little stores. Those are the ones that because you
little
have to
store.
eat. Yeah.
You have to eat, but I did all of that a couple of days before. But that
Mhm.
means that if you do it today, don't go out on a spending binge on the next day,
Mhm.
and then it just defeats the whole purpose of it. Be
Yeah.
smart, let them feel it, let
Yeah.
them feel it.
Yeah.
In sports, my kind of thing. March Madness is here, but March Madness is not here yet. The games are still going on. We got to determine the seedings. We got to determine who's going to play who's the number one seed. We still have the tournaments, the smaller tournaments, the conference tournaments before the big tournament. So even though March Madness is going to be officially tomorrow, we still got a couple weeks before they even put the seedings together, and we will have lots of fun with that. The brackets, I know the office brackets, everybody want to fill out their brackets and everything, but it's here. Baseball is here though. Baseball spring training is here. So I want to read some baseball stuff. The New York Yankees announced they will play Frank Sinatra's theme song, New York, New York. Let's start spreading the news. Yes, they only going to do that at Yankee Stadium when the Yankees win. Now, there's 81 home games for the New York Yankees, 81 games. So will they sing it 81 times? I doubt very much if any home team and like the Yankees or any other team is going to win 81 games, and you're not going to hear it 81 times. But the Yankees are changing their way of doing it, and that, I guess, not for cutback, but George Steinbrenner started this here back in 1980. So Yankees and players and staff were tired of hearing the song even after defeats. Who wants to hear a song after a defeat? Only Frank Sinatra could do that, make you feel good after a loss, but they want to do it after a victory, after a win. So we're going to hear that starting this season when the Yankees have play their games at Yankee Stadium at home games. They missed some great voices over the years. They missed opera song soloist Robert Marrow, who used to sing the Star Spangled Banner, his deep voice and other great voices from the past. What's the PA announcer? I forgot his name, just like that. But they will Bob Shepard. I'm sorry, yeah, Bob Shepard. Those voices are no longer there. But where you will hear the Yankees have Frank Sinatra on wings. ESPN coverage of Major League Baseball will conclude at the end of the 2025 season. There was a March 1st deadline for Major League Baseball and ESPN to opt out of their final 3 years of their contract. But the sides agree on, back in 2021, a 7-year deal that averaged $550 million per season. Now, Major League Baseball receives an average of $729 million from Fox Sports and another $470 million from Turner Sports. These are the games that play during the postseason and sometimes during the regular season as well, too. The deal will expire after the 2028 baseball season. One thing I forgot to mention last night, they're trying a new experiment for balls and strikes also. They want you to, they're allowing catchers, pitchers, and pitchers and some players to dispute balls and strikes. Yes, balls and strikes. So if there's a strike call and the player is saying no, it's a ball, they're going to go to the replay. This is a dumb rule. I know it's an experimental rule that they're trying to do, but it's dumb. It's going to delay the game even further. Baseball's in shambles right now. They're finding anything to bring people back. So right now, this is not a good thing at all. Al Tradwick, one of the most recognized sports broadcasters in New York and a fixture in numerous international sporting events for more than 3 decades, has passed away at the age of 68. Tradwick was part of the Madison Square Garden pregame and postgame for the Knicks, Rangers, and Major League Baseball New York Yankees. Yeah, he had a sickness, or I believe he died of cancer. He was 68, so our prayers go out to his family. This day in sports, February 28th, as we celebrate the last day of this month. 1940, the first televised basketball game between Pittsburgh University defeating Fordham University 50-37. 1966, Sandy Koufax And Don Drysdale began a joint holdout against their own team, the LA Dodgers, 1967. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain sinks an NBA record of 35 consecutive field goals. That's, of course, over a couple of games. I don't think he did that in one game. 1981, remember a little short Calvin Murphy sets an NBA record with 48 consecutive free throws. Shortest man to ever play the game, I believe, at that time. Birthdays. 1945, happy birthday to the late Bubba Smith, NFL defensive end and actor, Super Bowl champion, who you've seen him in movies like in Academy, was born in Orange, Texas. Happy birthday, 1955, to Adrian Dantley, NBA forward for the Utah Jazz, was born in Washington, D.C. Happy birthday, 1980, to Tayshaun Prince, NBA small forward for the Detroit Pistons, was born in Compton, California. And happy birthday today to the sensational international basketball player who plays in this great country, the United States, Luka Doncic, NBA guard, born in Slovenia. Yes, Slovenia. A lot of international stars are coming. And today is the last day that we celebrate for Black History. I know we had celebrated three superheroes of our sport, of various sports. Week one, we talked about the great Muhammad Ali, greatest boxer of all time, I think. Ali also took his talents also out of the ring, where he was a civil rights leader, where he fought against racism. Then this week two, we had Tony Dungy, the first NFL Black coach to ever win a Super Bowl. And last week we had Cito Gaston, the first Major League Baseball manager to ever win a World Series. And today we're going to end with the great Bill Russell. Bill Russell became the first Black head coach in the NBA, not only in the NBA, but he also was the first Black coach to win a championship as a player coach. He was a player coach, so that makes him the first coach to ever be a coach and to win an NBA championship. When he took on the job of the Boston Celtics in 1966, when his boss, general manager Red Auerbach, decided to step down. Now, Russell openly participated in various civil rights demonstrations, including the March on Washington with the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He supported Muhammad Ali when Ali refused to fight in the Vietnam War. He also had that famous photo where he was standing aside of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He also had Jim Brown, and it was the four of them. It's so iconic that you just don't want to. Every time you see that picture, it just brings chills. You had Bill Russell, you had Jim Brown, you had Muhammad Ali. It was the four of them that were right there, and it was just iconic where they fought for civil rights. And Russell used his platform as a famous athlete to speak out against racism, inequality, and when facing the challenges as a segregation in the city of Boston. Let's be real, back in those days, city of Boston was rough to live there for any Black or any person that was a person of color. This made Russell a prominent figure as his activism alongside his basketball achievements. We salute to him. And there's only one person left on that picture too. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the only one that's left in that great picture. It's called the Cleveland Summit. The Cleveland Summit. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a strange day here where we have to follow what our leaders want us to do to fight against hatred and racism.
Yeah, I'm thinking, while you were doing all of that, I'm thinking to myself, what would Martin Luther King be thinking if he were here today? What would he be thinking after everything that he has gone through? What would he be thinking today? And that's something that you can lay on the table and talk about at another time, or talk with your friends or your family. What would he be thinking today?
Yeah,
It,
I think about that all the time. I mean,
yeah,
what would he be saying? What would he be thinking? I mean, he did his cause. He did his. He worked. He fought for what he believed was right.
yeah.
And here it is. We got this here president here is trying to dig up old stuff on him. That's why they want to reopen some of these here FBI files of him, of Dr. King, and alleged affairs, and open up the Kennedy's assassinations, and wants to spill these beans and downgrade. It's just sad. It's just sad how we, after all these years, we're living in this country and we still have to go through this.
It's just amazing how people could try to dig up the past of someone else and not look at themselves, think, saying, hey, doesn't that sound familiar? I did the same thing. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. At least Martin Luther King, I mean, he might have gone to jail, but he went for a cause. But at least he didn't wind up to be a 32 count felon. Or was it 34? 34.
Yeah.
At least he wasn't a felon. And I still ask the question every day: how does a felon becomes the president of the United States? How does that work? I mean,
Because
what do
I
you
could
sweep
tell
it
you
under the
why.
rug?
You know what? We can't be angry with him totally because we know who he is. We know what he's about. He is what he is. It's his supporters who turn a blind eye. They turn the other cheek. They look the other way. Oh, don't even worry about it. Look what he's done. I don't care what he did and everything. This is their mentality. He has no knowledge of politics. He's a businessman. But just like in 2008, when President Barack Obama shocked the world, not only this country, shocked the world by becoming the first Black president of the United States, same thing happened. Fast forward, same thing happened in 2016.
Remember the
We didn't.
old phrases? Remember the old phrases, things like payback is a bee, chickens coming home to roost, you reap what you sow. Remember those sayings?
Yeah. And I don't want to make it sound like, listen, I am not a racist person at all. I love all people. I mean, my childhood, I was helped by a lot of white people. Um, I have a fifth grade teacher who I stay in contact with since 1975. Um, he's one of my closest friends that I could ever say. He's much older than me, but I take his advice. Then there was other white people, Irish and Italian, I have to say, that looked over me um, during my lifetime that I still stay in touch with. But don't be angry with me if I love my people so much and I want them to do well. We've been mistreated a lot. Some has been self-inflicted on us too. We have to take accountability for what we do too. But what our ancestors have suffered, and we as a nation got to respect what our ancestors did for us as a race. But I want to not get into that. I don't want to take up too much time. Just wanted to just to throw that in. So
Okay.
um,
With that, we'll see you back here next week then.
next week I'm going to fish and take care of my fish tank. I got to clean it out, and I'm going to stay home. I'm going to cook me a nice shrimp scampi for the evening.
Enjoy it. We'll see you next
Enjoy,
week.
everybody. Take care, Mary. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports. I'm hungry already on Sports Update. He's going to be back with us, and you can catch him here next Thursday, too. We'll talk about that later on Talkback Live. If you're just joining us, it's the coffee hour, and we're going to be with you for the entire hour for the balance of the program. And we've got so many things to talk about. And you could be on the action too as well. We look forward to hearing from you too as well. Okay, those of you who are watching and you are there and we are here and you have something to say, and you want to get involved in the conversation, give us your weather forecast. We'd like to know that, so we kind of compare what's happening as far as the weather concerned, my weather with your weather. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. We've got the weather looks good right now. For the time being, it looks good right now. We've got 46 degrees. That's where we are. The weather's kind of getting warmer. We have hints of spring coming along. And of course, I'm always looking forward to that. Spring, summer, that's my kind of weather. Not a winter baby. That's why I'm glad the treacherous weather has gone and we can get back to what I perceive as normal. Anyway, today it's going to be mostly sunny. We'll have a high around 50 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's going to be partly cloudy, partly to mostly cloudy tonight. We'll have low 43 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies for Saturday. We'll have a high 58. Winds will be west at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts is possible. Let's see. For Saturday night, mostly clear. And we'll have a low 21 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And as we rest up on Sunday, very, very good. I love this. Sunny skies, high near 35 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's what we have on our weather forecast. And repeating our current temperature, we've got, I repeat it again, 46 degrees out there, and it's looking good. Looking good. Okay, for the rest of you who want to join in the conversation, let us know what you got going for yourself. If you're a New Yorker or in the vicinity of New York, don't worry about it. I just did the local stuff, and you don't have to worry about that. I took care of all of that, okay? I took care of all of that, so there's no problem with that. So everything is looking hunky-dory on our end as far as the weather is concerned. Okay, we're going to move along. We're running out of time, but Jerry Butler, the original lead singer of the R&B and soul group, The Impressions, has died. The Mississippi-born musician started singing as a teenager in a Chicago church alongside his future bandmate, Curtis Mayfield. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which inducted The Impressions in 1991, described their music as the sound of the civil rights movement. In later life, Butler went on to become a local politician and served as commissioner for Cook County, Illinois, from 1985 to 2018, and he was 85 years old. Lynn Marie Stewart, who starred on screen productions like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, died last Friday after a quick illness. Stewart was born on December 14, 1946 in Los Angeles, California. Stewart starred as Miss Yvonne, originally in the 1981 film, The Pee Wee Herman Show, and went on to play the character on the CBS Saturday morning show, Pee Wee's Playhouse. She was 78. Roberta Flack, the Grammy-winning soul singer, best known for her celebrated interpretations of romantic ballads like Killing Me Softly with His Song, as well as her professional collaborations, has died. She had had several years of health challenges, including a diagnosis of ALS, that's the Lou Gehrig disease. She was 88 years old. Legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arcara, were found dead in separate rooms in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home. Hackman's 95, his wife 64, were found at their home on Wednesday alongside their dog. An investigation is underway into the circumstances surrounding the deaths. The search warrant says that the deaths are suspicious enough in the nature of to require a thorough search and investigation. Demi Moore wins Best Actress at the SAG Awards. After her 47th year in the union, Moore continued her strong award season run from The Substance by taking home the SAG Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in the Lead Role. The victory was Moore's third among the major Oscar precursor ceremonies. She previously won Best Actress prizes at the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice Awards. Heathers, the musical, is returning to New York after an extended run in London and throughout the UK. The show will play a limited engagement from June 22nd through September 28th at New World Stages. And the return to New York is coming home of sort. Heathers, the musical, originally played in Los Angeles for a solid run in 2013 before transferring off Broadway to New World Stages in 2014. Joy Reid, former MSNBC host, said her final goodbye Monday as the network announced the cancellation of her show, The Readout. However, over the past few years of hosting her own show, Reid's over-the-top liberal and oftentimes incendiary commentary went viral. Reid's 7 p.m. Eastern Time program is now replaced by a show featuring Simone Sanders Townsend, Alicia Mendez, and Michael Steele. Birthdays. Actress Rae Dun Chung is 64 today. Actor John Turturro is 68. Cindy Wilson of the B-52s, the rock group, is 68 today. Comedian Gilbert Gottfried would have been 70. Actress Mercedes Ruehl is 77 today. And so is Bernadette Peters. Actress Kelly Bishop is 81. Soul and the soul singer, the late Barbara Atkins, or Acklin, I should say, would have been 82 today. Is she still alive? No, I don't think she's still alive. She's 80. She would have been 82 today. Choreographer Tommy Tunes is 86. You have musician, the late Willie Bobo would have been 91. Actor Gavin MacLeod of The Love Boat would have been 94. And director Vincente Minnelli, that's the husband of Liza, or the father of Liza Minnelli, would have been 123 years old today. And so we say happy birthday to all of those people who are alive and still with us. We celebrate you. And of course, we're not going to forget the people who are no longer with us, because we remember you on your birthday today. Don't forget, if you have a birthday or whatever, please get in touch with us. I have an email address and a telephone number. Email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. The telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I want to track back or go back, and we were talking about Joy Reid, who was fired from MSNBC. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, make a little commentary on that. First of all, Michael Steele has been filling in for the show for the past 3 days after she left. Now, they may be taking turns with Simone Sanders Townsend and Alicia, all three of them together. They work on the weekends. And I heard a lot of stories, a lot of things that came out on the in social media, noting her as a racist only because she speaks her mind. Now, I guess if you want to notice someone as a racist only because they're vocal and they speak their mind, then you might as well talk about most of the entire world, because everyone who speaks out have an opinion. All right. And they didn't say why. Well, the reason why they gave her, they said because her ratings were low. And as Brian mentioned too, about Morning Joe, we got to remember that we're going to tell her like it is. Their ratings are in the toilet, but they're on the air. And also, Katie Fang, who's an Asian American, was dumped as well. You know, you go figure that. You had a black and an Asian American were dumped off of MSNBC. Okay? And who knows? Maybe the best is yet to come, as they would say. Who knows? But I just want you to know that I do miss Joy Reid. I really miss her. I enjoyed her show. She couldn't do wrong for me. I enjoyed the show. And I have a feeling that she's going to pop up someplace else, if not in regular news, Maybe she'll do what Don Lemon did. Maybe she'll create her own podcast. She is broadcasting on XM radio. She's doing that. So, you really can't shut her up because she's got that going. And I'm pretty sure she has a lot of things in the back thinking about, because you have to prepare for things like this thing about to come. So I am saying that because of her firing, a lot of these big companies, because I know this for a fact because I've been there myself, they may say to you, well, we're going to make another move. So we won't be able to, we're going to make another move someplace else. We're changing our format and doing this. But never mention that we could fit you someplace else. All right. Joy Reid, we love you. I love you. And I hope to see you soon. Okay, we have movies to talk about right now, and we're going to go do them right quick. Let's start with The Music Man from 1962. Robert Preston, Shirley Jones, and Buddy Hackett. You can see that on Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 10:45 a.m. Eastern. You have The Lost Weekend, which is a very compelling movie from 1945. Ray Milland, Jane Wyman, and Philip Terry. It's on Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll Cry Tomorrow, which is another compelling movie, black and white, 1955. Susan Hayward, Richard Conte, and Eddie Albert. It's on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, Lauren Bacall. This goes back to 1948. You can see that on Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 2:15 a.m. Eastern. Citizen Kane from 1941, Orson Welles on Turner Classic Movies, 11:45 a.m. Eastern. Gone with the Wind from 1939, Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. My Man Godfrey is a nice comedy. It's a black and white classic, 1936. William Powell, Carol Lombard, and Alice Brady. That's Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now I want to go out the box a little bit because I want to recommend a couple of movies that I think you're going to like. And here's one that I highly recommend that you watch. This is on Netflix. All of you guys on Netflix, watch Zero Day. Please, I highly recommend this. It's a 5-parter. I think it's about a 5 or 6-parter. And it stars Robert De Niro. Now, it will make you think. When you watch this documentary, I guess it's no, well, you can call it it's a movie, but it's in 6 parts. All right, an hour apiece. Watch it because it makes you think about what we're going through today, and sometimes it opens your eyes about your travel, flying, taking trains, and things like that. And it also reminds you of I guess you can call it how they bash the internet. I'm trying to find the right phrase to say this, but anyway, you watch it. I can't think of it right now, but you watch it. It's a great movie. Now that we're on Black History Month, I want you to watch these movies too. Black History Month, celebrating Black History Month, which is the last day today. 1950, the Jackie Robinson Story, which you can catch on Sling, Prime, Tubi, Plex, MGM Plus, Stars, and Freevee. That's the Jackie Robinson Story. Also, the Joe Louis Story from 1953. You can catch that on Tubi, Roku Channel, Plex, MGM Plus, and Stars. These are all great movies. I urge you to watch them. Give me a report on my desk on Monday when you come in, but let me know how you like them, all right? They're great movies. I really enjoy it. I really had a ball today. I enjoyed being with you as always. And that's going to do it for me today. But I'm going to come back here on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to be back here. And we're going to be back here with Talk Back Live. Brian Camp is going to be with me. And he's going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you then. And then you can meet us back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Kemp, of course, will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And of course, I also look forward to seeing you too. So in the meantime, in between time, have yourself a great day, a great weekend, and enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you back here soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allen. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.